I never thought I'd be the kind of person who believed in things like black magic. I was raised to believe in hard work, logic, and faith, not superstition. But life has a funny way of testing what you think you know. My name is Linda. I'm 50 years old, a mother of 2, and I've lived most of my life in Ohio. I've always been the grounded one, the one people call when their world is falling apart. But about 6 years ago, mine did. It started with my sister, Marie. Marie and I were close growing up, the kind of sisters who shared secrets under the covers, fought over clothes, and then made up 5 minutes later. She was always the wild one, charming, unpredictable, and full of energy. I was the steady one, the fixer. But something shifted between us after our mother passed away. Mum had left her small house to both of us. I suggested we sell it and split the money. Marie wanted to keep it and said it had spiritual value. We argued, not screaming, but sharp enough to leave cracks. Eventually, I gave in and signed my share over to her. I thought it would make peace. I was wrong. Not long after that, strange things started happening. I'd wake up feeling exhausted, like I hadn't slept at all. My body ached for no reason. My plants, healthy and green one week, started withering overnight. I'd find things moved around in the house, doors creaking open at odd hours, and a smell of burnt herbs in my kitchen, even though I hadn't cooked. At first, I brushed it off. Stress, I told myself, just stress. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. One morning, I found a small pouch under my bed. Inside was a lock of hair, mine, tied with black thread and sealed with wax. My heart froze. I remember calling my friend Carol, shaking, and telling her what I'd found. She came over right away, looked at it, and whispered, "Linda, this looks like witchcraft." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe it. Black magic? That was the stuff of movies and ghost stories. But the fear in Carol's eyes made me realize she believed it. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing whispers, faint and low, like someone murmuring right outside my room. When I'd turn on the light, the sound would stop. I started losing weight. My hair began falling out, and my skin turned pale. I went to the doctor. Blood tests, scans, you name it, everything came back normal. "You're healthy," they said. But I didn't feel healthy. I felt haunted. And then, one afternoon, Marie came to visit. She stood at my door, smiling in that way that used to feel warm but now felt sharp. She handed me a jar of homemade oil. "It'll help you sleep," she said. I didn't want to be rude, so I thanked her. But the moment she left, that jar felt heavy in my hand, too heavy for something so small. Something in me said, "Don't open it." I placed it in the cabinet. The next morning when I checked, the lid had come loose. And the smell, it was bitter, metallic, like rust and ashes. I threw it out, heart pounding. That night, I dreamed of Marie standing over me, whispering something I couldn't understand. When I woke up, I was drenched in sweat. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I called a local pastor and told him everything. He didn't laugh. He came to my house, prayed, and sprinkled holy water in every corner. For a while, things felt lighter. I could breathe again. But a few days later, I saw Marie at the grocery store. She looked at me, smiled that same knowing smile, and said, "You look tired again." Her voice was soft, but the words cut deep. When I got home, the house felt cold again. The lights flickered. My phone wouldn't charge. I felt like I was living in a fog. That was the breaking point. I went to visit a spiritual counselor, something I'd never have done before all this. The woman listened quietly, nodding. Then she said, "Someone close to you has sent darkness your way. But remember, darkness can't survive where light is invited in." It sounded poetic, maybe even cliché, but something in her tone gave me hope. She gave me 3 simple instructions. Pray every morning, burn white candles in the house, and forgive whoever had done this to me. Not for them, but for myself. Forgive. That word stung more than any curse could. How do you forgive someone who may have tried to destroy you? But I tried. Every morning I lit a candle and prayed, not to undo whatever had been done, but to find peace again. I stopped calling Marie. I stopped feeding the fear. Slowly, the heaviness began to lift. My sleep returned. The air in my house felt clean again. I could laugh. I could think clearly. And one day, I saw Marie again at a family gathering. She looked tired, drained. There was something in her eyes I hadn't seen before. Guilt, maybe, or sadness. She came up to me and said softly, "You look better." I smiled. "I am." That was all I said. I'll never know for sure what she did, or if she really did anything at all. Maybe it was all coincidence. Maybe it was stress. Maybe my mind made patterns where none existed. But I do know this. Whatever shadow hung over me back then, it's gone now. And what I learned through it all is that fear gives power to darkness. The more I fed it with anger and suspicion, the stronger it felt. The moment I started letting go, forgiving, healing, believing again, that darkness lost its grip. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't talk to Marie much these days, but I've let go of the bitterness. She's still my sister, even if we walk separate paths now. Sometimes late at night I think about that pouch I found under my bed, the lock of hair, the black thread. I'll never know how it got there, but it taught me something profound. Not all battles are fought in the open. Some happen quietly, in the heart, where faith becomes your only defense. And maybe, just maybe, what I called black magic was never about spells or curses at all. Maybe it was about the power we give to fear, and the greater power we find when we finally stop being afraid. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon.